Syracuse University continues to help hurricane victims in Puerto Rico. CitrusTV reporter Elijah Shama spoke with yoga instructors who are raising money with a twist.
Plus, the FBI is leading a new investigation into the incident in Niger that left 4 U.S. soldiers dead.
And the GOP is backing a new tax bill passed last night. Will Republicans finally be able to move forward with their tax reform plan? CitrusTV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Remembrance Week begins Sunday with a candlelight vigil. Good evening, I'm Noah Wolfe.
And I'm Rebekah Castor. Each year, 35 seniors are chosen to be Remembrance Scholars to honor the SU students who lost their lives in the terrorist bombing of Pan Am Flight 103 over Lockerbie, Scotland in 1988.
The Remembrance Scholars plan a week of activities to remember the victims and bring attention to terrorism. The candlelight vigil on Sunday will begin at Hendricks Chapel at 7 p.m. and end at the Wall of Remembrance, where scholars will read the names of the 35 victims.
A Syracuse University visual marks 1 month since natural disasters hit Mexico and Puerto Rico. Students gathered outside Hendricks Chapel last night to show support for the victims of the earthquake and hurricane that hit those countries. In mid-December, a group of SU students will go on a relief trip to Puerto Rico. The aid mission will be led by Baptist chaplain Devin Bartholomew. A 2015 student survey showed 82% of students feel unsafe walking off campus at night. CitrusTV reporter Sabrina Maggiore spoke with DPS officers and SU leaders to see what steps they are doing now to try and fix this ongoing issue.
Syracuse police data shows that off-campus areas have a high concentration of crime rates, but university organizations and community groups alike are coming together to address this issue. Syracuse police have started to install infrastructure for 8 security cameras at various cross-sections down the Euclid corridor.
As a crime prevention measure too, folks are less likely to commit a crime when they know there's a camera on and in front of them.
The camera installations are part of larger efforts to bring students a greater sense of security when traveling to and from their houses off campus. The Student Association is developing new measures to address student safety. In the works is a new shuttle service to off-campus housing on Euclid, parts of Comstock, and Madison.
Students are most at risk when you spend a long night at Bird, or you went to your friend's house or dorm and you just want to go back. That's when you're most at risk, when you're walking back at 1 a.m. alone. And that will kind of help with that by providing a convenient, maybe like a 15 to 20 minute loop, just consistent service that students can use for free.
In addition to this, the Student Association is looking into measures such as target hardening, focusing in on increasing visibility in off-campus areas.
With a lot of big trees, beautiful hedges, which they're beautiful, but they also block lights, could potentially block cameras. Simple things just as increasing lighting and trimming those back, which don't cost an incredible amount of money, have been shown to have a tangible effect on lowering crime in an area.
The 8-camera installation is the first part of a 49-camera initiative. The Student Association plans on analyzing crime statistics and then determining what other security measures will be feasible. Sabrina Maggiore, CitrusTV News.
DPS and SA are planning to have the security cameras up and running by the end of the month.
Ithaca Police is looking for a man seen walking around the city near Ithaca College. Police say he is a suspect in a forcible touching incident near the Ithaca Commons on Tuesday. The suspect is a white man around 45 years old. Please call the Ithaca Police if you have any information. Syracuse Mayor Stephanie Miner is putting rumors to rest. Miner announced earlier this week that she will not run for Congress in 2018. There were several rumors she would challenge current Rep. John Katko for New York's 24th Congressional District seat. However, Miner hasn't ruled out a run for governor yet. Her second term as mayor ends in 2018. The fight for the second Amazon headquarters continues. Syracuse, New York City, Buffalo, Rochester, and Albany are all in the running. Each region submitted formal bids for the $5 billion project before yesterday's deadline. Some of the factors include access to transportation and the region's current economy. Amazon says the project could create up to 50,000 jobs.
The Newhouse School is helping Puerto Rico in some pretty flexible ways. CitrusTV reporter Elijah Shama has the story of a yoga class for a good cause.
They bend, they stretch, and they give back. In between the downward dogs and shavasanas, this yoga class is about helping hurricane victims in Puerto Rico. It's part of a collaboration between yoga instructor Dara Harper and the Newhouse School to raise money for the island ravaged by Hurricane Maria. For students like Isabel Sanchez, it's a way to relax and help out a cause she's passionate about.
It was fantastic. It was very intense, but it was very spiritual at the same time, and it was exactly what I needed for Friday. And if you're going to do yoga for a good cause, I mean, that's a win-win situation.
This isn't the first time Dara Harper's used yoga to help raise money for a cause. She says she's happy to use her platform to help make a difference any way she can.
I have done yoga for Ebola for Liberians, and then I did yoga for Nepal. So I seem to be the person when there's something, and there's plenty of things to do.
For Puerto Ricans like Carrie Ann Soto, the yoga class was a way to send not only money, but positive energy and healing.
We need to heal ourselves and our people, so this is why we're doing it. I feel like Dara was coming at it from that angle in terms of helping, sending positive energy and healing.
Yoga for Puerto Rico was able to raise over $300 for organizations like Compartivos, which helps more rural parts of the island. And believe me when I say that is no stretch.
Elijah Shama, CitrusTV News.
Thanks, Elijah. You can take class every Friday at 4 p.m. in Newhouse 1. Suggested donations are $10 to $20. Now let's go to Josh Feinblatt with a look at tonight's weather.
Thanks, Rebekah. Beautiful day we had today, 61 degrees and no rain, and not coming anytime soon tonight. 50 degrees tonight. It's going to be a little bit of a chilly one. It's going to get down into the higher 40s, 47, 48 degrees, and still no chance of rain. Absolutely a beautiful night, beautiful day we've been having. And is it going to continue? That's what I'll tell you in my full weather forecast coming up.
Coming up, a sneak peek at the prototypes for President Trump's Mexican border wall.
Plus, the Brexit conversation grows. Find out which government leaders are pushing the movement and who is trying to stop it. All that and more after the break.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
You're watching Citrus TV News with Rebekah Castor, Josh Rosenblatt, and David Edelstein with weather. Citrus TV News continues now.
The FBI is joining the investigation into the death of 4 U.S. soldiers. Police say Islamic militants killed the soldiers in Niger earlier this month during an ambush. The FBI's involvement is not unusual. It's a routine step for them to get involved when U.S. citizens are killed overseas. The Pentagon is also investigating how dozens of ISIS militants were able to ambush the team and why they didn't receive extra support.
Check this out. We have a first look at 8 prototypes for Trump's Mexico border wall. The prototypes are being built in San Diego and they cost around $500,000 each. Once complete, Border Patrol will evaluate the 30-foot walls based on 3 factors. Leaders want a wall that is hard to scale, difficult to penetrate, and impossible to tunnel under. They also want the wall to be aesthetically pleasing. It is unclear when the administration will choose the winning wall and who will pay for it.
The Senate GOP is backing the new tax budget, but it was a close call. The budget passed yesterday after a 51-49 vote. This $4 trillion plan is the prerequisite for President Trump's major tax reforms, the first tax overhaul in 3 decades. Trump says the budget is phase 1 of the massive tax cuts and reforms he plans to complete by the end of the year.
And moving overseas, earlier this morning, a suicide bomber killed at least 39 people inside a Shia mosque. It happened in Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan. Shortly after, a second bomb went off in a Sunni mosque in the northwest region of the country, killing 20 people. It is unknown if the attacks are related.
These are Syrian soldiers celebrating a victory over ISIS in Raqqa. The U.S.-backed Syrian Democratic Forces liberated the capital city earlier this week. A formal ceremony was held today where military leaders handed over control of the city to a civil council. ISIS controlled the city for the last 3 years.
The search for Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 will continue. Malaysia and a Texas firm, Ocean Infinity, made a deal to restart the search that was called off in January. It's not clear how much the new search will cost now. The plane disappeared about 3 years ago. 239 people from 14 different countries were on board.
European Union leaders returned to Brussels today for the second day of Brexit talks. British Prime Minister Theresa May is eager to move forward. However, many other leaders, such as German Chancellor Angela Merkel, say there has not been enough progress to open negotiations. Still, May is confident a final agreement can be reached.
The full and final settlement will come as part of the final agreement that we're getting in relation to the future partnership. And I think that's absolutely right. I think that can only be done in that particular context. I made that point within the Florence speech, and that point remains.
Britain is set to leave the EU in 2019, but negotiations must be completed within the year so Parliament can validate it.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
It's a sunny fall day here in Syracuse, but it's never too soon to think about winter.
Weather experts say this winter could be warmer than usual. Josh Feinblatt has the details.
Yeah, guys, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration released their predictions for how this winter is going to go earlier today, and we've got a first look at it. So on their winter temperature prediction, the Northwest is going to be cooler than normal. We're in a La Nina, and usually that means things are a little bit warmer, or sorry, a little bit cooler. Mixed up my La Nina, El Nino. But down south it's going to be a lot warmer, and that includes south, I guess, up in New York State as well. It's a pretty equal graph when it comes to precipitation. Drier in the south, and we've got a little bit of a wet spot up here. It's not going to be super wet and different from normal, but it's going to be wetter than the average. And Saturday, moving into tomorrow, right here in Syracuse, 9 a.m., a beautiful day, 51 degrees. It's going to get up to 70. It's a high of 76 tomorrow. No rain at all. And moving over to Miami for the football game, during game time, it will be 85 degrees. 85 degrees, beautiful, but it's going to rain. It's going to thunderstorm throughout the game. So if you're traveling down to the game, bring a raincoat. And we're moving into our 5-day weather forecast. Beautiful day in the 70s all throughout this week. But on Tuesday, it looks like it's going to start raining a decent amount, actually.
All right, Josh, so the rain that's going to come in next week, how much rain can we expect? Is it going to be something that lasts all the rest of next week?
Sure. So as it's looking right now, that rain that's going to start on Tuesday, there might not be a ton Wednesday or Thursday, but after that, it looks like it's going to rain every single day until next Thursday and possibly further. It's going to be a lot of rain coming our way.
And Josh, just looking towards the long term here, it's going to get cold pretty soon, but when is that? When can I break out my sweaters?
Sure, it looks like you've got a couple of weeks. Obviously, we just looked at it's going to be a little bit of a warmer winter than normal. So it's still in the 70s this week. I'd say give it about 2 weeks until you need a heavy sweatshirt.
All right, thank you so much, Josh.
Of course.
When we come back, a popular item may be banned the next time you board a plane. We'll tell you why the FAA may make this contentious move.
Plus, a $1 billion partnership with Lyft. Find out what sparked the collaboration and how Lyft could benefit.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Pollution is a growing threat to the world's population, killing more people than AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria combined. A new study found that 1 in 6 premature deaths in 2015 could be attributed to toxin exposure. That's about 9 million deaths, costing around $4.6 billion in lost production. People living in Asia and Africa are the most at risk. More restrictions for flying could be coming. The FAA is proposing a laptop ban and checked luggage for international flights due to a fire risk. Agency tests found that overheating batteries could catch fire if packed with aerosol products, like hairspray or dry shampoo. Depending on the size of the fire, the FAA says it poses a danger to the entire aircraft. The United Nations will consider the proposal later this month. And there's some more uplifting news for Lyft. Alphabet, the parent company of Google, announced yesterday that it is investing $1 billion into the rideshare service. Lyft is aiming to capitalize on the struggles that its main rival Uber experienced this year. Lyft is currently valued at $11 billion, and that's up from $7.5 billion in April.
What do Americans think are the most reliable car brands? A new consumer report found that the most reliable brand is Toyota, followed by Lexus and Kia. This is the 5th year Toyota has topped the list. Experts are attributing Toyota's success to its slow and steady use of new technology. The only American brand in the top 10 was Buick, coming in at number 9. And Burlington, Vermont is a major retailer's bullseye. Target intends to set up the state's first retail location in the city. When the store opens in 2018, Target will officially have a store in every state in the U.S. The store will be smaller than Target's standard stores, hiring just 75 workers. Oscar-winning actress Lupita Nyong'o is speaking out against Harvey Weinstein. Nyong'o is sharing her story to end what she called a conspiracy of silence. The actress shared awkward encounters with Weinstein while attending Yale, saying Weinstein threatened her career after she refused his advances. More than 40 women have accused Weinstein of sexual harassment and rape.
Coming up in sports, Clemson came into the Dome 6-0. Then Syracuse handed them their first loss. Tomorrow's opponent, Miami, also has a perfect record. Can the Orange upset a top 10 opponent once again? Plus, women's soccer took on number 13 Virginia last night. We have the highlights when we come back.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go! Okay, quick. Oh, yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. Nope.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
A week ago today, Syracuse upset number 2 Clemson 27-24 in the Dome. This marked the second highest ranked opponent Cuse has defeated in its 128-year history. Tomorrow, the Orange is looking for its second straight top 10 win when it travels to number 8 Miami. This is the 23rd meeting between these ACC foes, with the Hurricanes owning a 15-7 advantage. Miami boasts one of the best rushing attacks in the conference and is one of 3 teams nationally to not lose a fumble this season. The front seven, including the dynamic duo of Paris Bennett and Zaire Franklin, will need to step up if the Orange want to keep it close. Franklin stressed that no matter how exciting the win over Clemson was, it is important for the team to be back on their grind against Miami. Following the game, tune in right here, OTN channel 14.1 for Orange Press Pass at 8:30. The show will have highlights, sound from players and coaches, analysis, and much more. Citrus TV has got you covered with all the postgame coverage you could need. With 5 teams in the top 20 in the ACC, Syracuse women's soccer has faced some tough competition in the second half of their season. Most recently, Syracuse lost to NC State 0-3 last Saturday. Yesterday, against number 13 Virginia, Syracuse was hoping to get a rebound win. But, spoiler alert, this definitely would not end up being the case. In the 14th minute of play, Betsy Brandon gets the cross here and puts it past Courtney Brosnan for the score for Virginia, putting them up 1-0 early on. Then Sydney Brackett dribbling down the right side, crosses it over, and Georgia Allen with the diving header ties the game 1-1. That's her second goal of the year. And we head towards the 59th minute of play. Virginia says, anything you can do, I can do better. Veronica Latsko puts the header in here, putting Virginia up 2-1. Then on the penalty kick, Brianna Westrup, she nails the top left corner. Virginia is up 3-1, putting a bow on it. Sydney Brackett obviously upset as Syracuse drops to 2-5-1 in conference play. Just like the women, it has been a tough season for the Syracuse men's soccer team. They had lost 4 straight games before the win over Ohio State on Wednesday, plus they have not won a conference matchup this year. That could change tomorrow when number 7 Clemson visits the SU Soccer Stadium. Just like in football, Clemson is not going to be an easy opponent. Diego Campos leads the Tigers offense with 7 goals and 8 assists, tied for second in the ACC for scoring. In terms of the Orange, it's senior night, so make sure to get there early for their pregame celebration. The Yankees are just 1 win away from heading to their first World Series since 2009. New York has rallied to a 3-2 lead over Houston after losing the first 2 games of the series. Tonight, the ALCS returns to Houston for Game 6 after 3 games in the Bronx. Luis Severino will square off against Justin Verlander on the mound. In Game 2, Verlander allowed only 1 run on 5 hits in the walk-off win for the Astros. Severino only played 4 innings in that game after getting hit in the wrist by a comebacker. And guys, it's going to be a tough matchup for the Yankees as the Astros have been undefeated at home this postseason.
Absolutely. Justin Verlander has been pretty much untouchable.
Absolutely.
With that said, the Yankees have been the team to watch this postseason. Who do you have coming out on top tonight?
I'm going to pick the Yankees strictly because they have so much momentum coming in and their starting pitching lineup has just been so strong. We saw CC Sabathia had that 6-inning shutout. Masahiro Tanaka's been so strong, and now Luis Severino. I think that he's really going to be able to prove himself in this game tonight.
Thanks, Nicole.
Citrus TV News will be right back.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Welcome back. We have Josh Feinblatt back with us. So Josh, what can we expect tomorrow morning?
It's going to be a chilly one tomorrow. Later in the day, it's going to get up to 76 degrees, 76 degrees, but tomorrow morning it's going to start out at around 46, and the temperatures will shoot up at around 11 a.m.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Josh. Coming up on OTN, your full sports report on Cuse Countdown and your late night entertainment with Syracuse Unpeeled.
And when there's window trouble, you know who to call. A group of superheroes gathered at a hospital to give young patients a surprise and to clean some windows.
The unidentified heroes say they wanted to get the kids' minds off whatever they were going through. However, one boy said he wondered why the superheroes were washing windows instead of fighting crime, but he admitted it was pretty cool either way. That's all we have for you tonight. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at CitrusTV.
And find out details on these stories and more on CitrusTV.com. I'm Noah Wolfe.
And I'm Rebekah Castor.